groovy people, welcome to the channel. Blue Dragon here with October's Q&A, the Crystal Lotus. Today I'm answering questions about my free, not safe for work webcomic, Dark Horse. Links for that are in the description. It is free of charge. Also, these videos and the comic, not safe for work, so no kids please. In the background, I am sketching a redraw of the character Odysseus from Dark Horse. At the beginning I showed you the redraws for Rin and Kana, special images found only in the print and PDF versions of Dark Horse. And I also show you the old drawing which is inspiring what I am sketching today in the video. This is an updated version, missing eye and all, and is going to be featured in the print and PDF versions of Dark Horse Act 3. Just some background on the background. I have one Act 4 question of the revamp, and 3 Act 6 and Act 7 questions from over on Comic Fury. I will add the timestamps in the floating text to let viewers know where to skip ahead for spoiler avoidance, just as kind of a courtesy because I know I don't like spoilers and some people are reading the revamp and some people are watching from Comic Fury, so I will have that in the timestamp. Also, side note, no fancy editing today. I just wanted to focus on the questions from my patrons and readers, since the Q&A is for patrons at the $10 level or more, and then I answer questions from readers, always giving preference to the patrons. So let's go ahead and get started. Question number 1. In the future, are Kana and Rina no longer friends? This is an Act 4 revamp question, and it's in reference to the obvious tension that the two have with one another, particularly when Rin kind of goes off on poor Yuli, assuming that he is judging her when he's not. She didn't know his intentions, but she's dealt with a lot of flack for her relationship that she had with Mia. So in that scene, I referenced that Kana has been kind of nagging Rin about her morality because the two of them have very differing views. Even though they are both Christian, Kana is Catholic and far more conservative and traditional, whereas Rina is non-denominational and came, from a very different upbringing. Although she has not told her parents that she's pansexual, or bisexual as she thinks it's called. But at any rate, they are still friends. In fact, the one thing that I have learned in life that is kind of being referenced here is that you can be really good friends with someone, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're good as roommates. Now, that's not to say that people who are good friends can't be roommates. I've actually been very close friends with the majority of the roommates I've had, and I have little superficial inserts. Not the characters aren't like the actual people, but I have inserts for like most of the people that I've lived with and kind of take inspiration from the people who are my friends as well as people outside of my life. So I'm not saying that you can't be friends with people that you live with, but in this case, this is a case of they are very differing personalities, and while they are good friends, it's probably not a good thing that they are living together because they see each other all the time, they get on each other's nerves, they have very different personality traits, and so in this case, a lot of this is just anger and tension built up, from the war, from living together, from not really getting proper time to mourn, and they're just kind of taking it out on each other because they're always around each other. Kind of probably should mind her own business. But people who are friends tend to speak candidly with one another, so maybe that was just Kana trying to give her opinion and advice to help Rin, who was going through a hard time emotionally. We don't get to see that scene until a later series. What leads up to all this tension we don't get to see until later. But yeah, they are still friends, but the stress of, being teenagers still, they're 18 by this point because they're the same age, but they're still not fully matured adults, and even fully matured adults aren't always mature, so let's just put it that way. So yeah, they are still friends, but there's some tension going on. So now we're going to be getting into a joke question for Act 6. I promised that last Q&A. And then I'm going to answer some Act 7 questions that I've been getting. So I'm going to put a timestamp up now. If you don't want spoilers, go ahead and head to the end of the video. If you want to continue watching, always optional. But the next question, is K-Mart still a thing? Now, background, I'm going to pop up a web short that I created. I've worked on some of these in the videos here on the channel. But this was just a joke strip of K-Suma really selling the sell your soul thing, and she was working at K-Mart. It was a joke because one of my readers on Comic Theory likes to call K-Suma Big K, and I thought that was really cute. And every time I hear Big K, I think of K-Mart, which is now defunct. No, K-Mart is not still a thing to my knowledge. I would have to double check. I guess I can put a link to Wikipedia. There's probably still one in Oregon somewhere. I say that because we've got the only Blockbuster in the world still open. Locally owned now. But to my knowledge, Kmart is now defunct. Next question. What is the Crystal Lotus? What exactly is it? And I am going to have to be Word of Wednesday taciturn on this subject. I'm sorry. I know some people want an answer for that, but it's not going to come until later. There's a reason why Dark Horse is a part of the Crystal Lotus Chronicles, and if I talk about what exactly they are, it will be spoilers for the series, so I'm not going to answer that question just yet. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not disappointing anyone. Next question. Why do the crystals show up in teenagers? I feel like the idea behind this question is thinking that it's kind of similar to like Sailor Moon or Magic Knight Ray Earth or some of the other Magic Girls, where it's like they're all teenagers. Regarding the Crystal Lotus, the way things work in this universe is, yes, Rina and Kana are teenagers when their crystals show up, and yes, Odysseus in the future is 18, and his crystal shows up now that he's in the past at 18, so they're all still in their teens. But someone like Shimiko, which I can't talk too much about, her crystal didn't necessarily appear when she was in her teens. I have ideas of what is going to happen with her storyline, but not all of that is completely written out yet, so suffice it to say, she was not a teenager when her crystal appeared, and there are other characters that we are going to meet who are not teenagers. So it's not necessarily the age that matters, it's more there's something within the character that awakens due to an extreme surge of emotion, if that makes sense. And I can't go into too much details about all this because it ties back into me not answering the other question, which will give spoilers for the series. So I will answer that it's not necessarily the age that is important. It is having an intense emotional response which summons forth and awakens the magic within the person. Yeah, I think that is a good way of putting it without giving too many spoilers, I think. And actually, you know, that's all that I've got for this month. I'm looking at my notes here. While we wrap up, we're gonna wrap up the video. Let me go ahead and get the question of the week. What are some of your favorite magical items, either in games, movies, books, manga, comic books, anything, TV shows? Let me know down in the comments. I kind of like magic rings, I'm not gonna lie, because they're very easy to draw. I don't have any right now, but they seem like a reasonable thing that could maybe have magic in it, and also I like Lord of the Rings, but it seems like a convenient way to store magic without having to carry a bunch of crap with you, I guess. But yeah, that's one of the things that I've always liked. And Ringo is my favorite. That has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. But anyway, that's my answer. So I want to hear your answers down in the comments. As I wrap up the video, of course, the obligatory, if you want to give me money, if you want to help the channel or help my craft, all that stuff is down in the description. I got Patreon, Subscribe Star, and, different ways to single donations. Got that out of the way. If you want to like, sub, and do the bell thing, that also helps. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Big thank you to my patrons. Oh my god, they are awesome. They're really helping me get through 2020. I appreciate the support. They are super cool. So thank you guys. You know who you are, guys and gals and people. At the end of the video, I need to make a correction to something that I've said in some of my previous videos because I had to do some research recently. In some previous videos, I had mentioned that the Zig Kuretake 60 ink, just the regular ink that I'd been using, I had mistakenly said that it was vegan and put links for it. That one is actually not the vegan version. Now, I understand most people, this probably it's not applicable, but I find that it's important to hold oneself accountable, and if you know that you've given misinformation, which I do, I found it out, I'm just kind of correcting that right now. And when I get time, I'm going to go back and kind of update the links. The one that has synthetic resin is not the professional level. It's still Zig Kuretake. It's the fast drying version, the black ink 60. It says very quick drying sumi ink for manga drawing, water-based pigment, smudge proof with alcohol-based markers. But yeah, so it's the one with the black label, not the one with the white label. I apologize if it is something that you've been trying to avoid. I apologize for the misinformation, and I hope that this will help you if you're looking for something in the future. Down in the description, I'm actually linking the Zig Kuretake website where I got this information. Yeah, that's it. I want to thank you for sticking with me through this video. Peace and love, fare you well, and keep on trucking.